Hello.
Bienvenidos a los regalos de Galiano Island. Thank you for coming this afternoon on this most historic occasion. Today we thought we would bring a piece of Spain back to you who could not be part of the ceremonies in Cabra this September. To begin our program will be one very special Spanish piece played by the most wonderful player, our own Barbara Landmark.
Are you filming right now?
Average this year did a very, very special thing. He became our ambassador from Galiano Island to the festivities in Cabra de Cordoba, the birthplace of Captain Galiano. He shared these festivities for 7 days, and many artists went with him, many Galiano artists, Brad Prevadoris, Ursula Medley, were part of the festivities. But let's hear it firsthand from Andrew. Andrew, would you take us to Spain for a short while?
Bienvenidos y encantado de ser aquí. I hadn't thought that I was going to Spain at the beginning of this year, and then suddenly one thing turned into another. First an invitation, then ideas from the Circle of the Amistad in Captain Galiano's hometown, which I had visited in '85, and then more ideas from the Galiano Club, which I was the club historian. And so step by step, it turned from a mere visit and participation in his 200th anniversary celebrations. It turned into a project, first of all, for twinning the two communities, the Galiano Club with the municipality of Cabra, and then it turned into an idea for taking a real representation of Galiano Island and its artists to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Captain Galiano. And there were so many difficulties along the way. There was a video, for instance, that almost didn't come off, and because of a last-minute hitch. And then, for example, 3 weeks before I was to leave, something came through. I made the right contact, and in 3 weeks, we turned out to the most perfect little video you could possibly wish to see, with Brad's music and with my commentary in Spanish. Leah Maberly, an island artist who most people hadn't heard of before, she turned out a beautiful, enormous tapestry. Some of you have seen it, others of you will see it. I have reproductions of it, and I hope that you'll be able to see it. That went to Cabra, and the people were amazed and impressed. Even more so when so many Canadians turned up, and we might as well have been from the far side of the moon, because we were so very far away, and so far away from any place that they had heard of. And yet Ursula, for example, went to work, and she painted this beautiful picture on the walls of the cultural center there, the Casa de Cultura, a picture of Porlier Pass with Captain Galiano, his two ships anchored offshore, and Captain Galiano coming to land and receiving blackberries from the Indians, just as it says in the Relación that you can see up here. In the history book that he wrote, he says that the Indians came and offered us blackberries and shellfish, and so it's suitable we should be celebrating all this at the Blackberry Festival here today, which, by the way, I might add, this is almost Captain Galiano's 232nd birthday, where he was born on October the 8th, 1760. Anyways, the Spanish visit was very, very exciting. They made up these beautiful posters, and they had these catalogues with a week-long list of events, all of historical stuff about Captain Galiano, and then you open up the folder, and you look inside, and what does it say? Well, I shall show you. You open up this folder with Captain Galiano on the outside, and inside is a picture of Galiano Island and a description of it here. So, all in all, it was very exciting. There were beautiful flamenco concerts with some of the most interesting music you're ever likely to hear in the world. And then another concert on the Wednesday evening was by Brad Prevadoris. He was there, and he played a concert of Canadian music, our own Galiano music. And they all thought that was very beautiful too. And I told them that I explained that our sense of music on Galiano sort of derives from Spanish roots too, but we do something different with it. So there were so many different things, I can almost hardly mention them all. I took 2 pictures of Captain Galiano at the time. I presented one to the city of Cabra and one to Doña Mencia. They, in return, the people of Cabra, at the twinning ceremony on the Saturday night, the last day, they presented me with the city of Cabra's coat of arms, and we took part in a solemn declaration there of twinning and brotherhood, where there was a minister from the Canadian embassy present at the twinning ceremony, and I said that I would bring the fraternal greetings back, and that I would communicate the message of twinning to the people of Galiano at the Zarzuela on October the 10th. And I'm very pleased to be able to say that just as there was a minister from the Canadian embassy present at that gathering, so the Spanish consul from Vancouver, Jose Ayala, is here today. I'm very flattered to be able to have him here. Senor Ayala has given up, has foregone another engagement in Vancouver to be able to be here today, and so I can only say, you know, with how very honoured we are to have him. Now, before I proceed to the showing of the coat of arms and the matter of twinning, first I would like to make a presentation to the consul here, Mr. Ayala. I'll just leave it in place for the moment, but this picture here, this painting of Dionisio Alcala Galiano, was painted by the island artist Willem Reddles, and we were trying to think of the best thing for it, and we think that we would like to present it to His Excellency the Consul, and possibly suggest, if it's found appropriate and suitable, that it be passed on and presented to His Majesty the King of Spain, who's often expressed an interest in Alcala Galiano and his adventures, and has heard of Galiano Island and had some distant involvement in it before. That would be very, very much appreciated. Thank you. And I have, before that, I have one other thing to present to you as well. I don't believe the others have seen it yet, but this is a little something of a surprise. I like surprises. This is a copy of the video I made, Isla Galiano, a video of Galiano Island with Brad Prevedoros's music and my commentary in Spanish. And so here's an extra copy that I'm giving to you as consul, and I hope you'll make use of whatever use you think is appropriate. And now, as to the twinning ceremony, the Cabra coat of arms, yes. The upper coat of arms is that of the city of Cabra, with which has officially invited us to become twin community. Below that is the entire work is the coat of arms of Doña Mencia, which is a neighbouring town, which is the site of Captain Galiano's family's country home. It doesn't exist anymore, but they've built a cultural centre on the site, and when I was there they had a big display concerning the lineage and accomplishments of Captain Galiano, so that you can see that they consider he's very important too. And I propose, when all this is over, I think it would be a good idea to present the Doña Mencia coat of arms to the North End Community Hall, because it would look very nice there. I'll bring the Cabra coat of arms down a bit closer so that you can see it. You see two goats, because Cabra is Spanish for goat, and 7 Moors' heads, which was considered a sort of romantic symbol of daring back in the Middle Ages. And so with the official presentation of this coat of arms by myself to the Galiano Club, I consider this the official invitation on the part of the city of Cabra, with myself as the representative to a twinning of the two communities.
about to take you to Spain once again. Brad Cremodores will play for you the pieces of music that he played specifically for the Spanish. Hope you'll enjoy.
I don't think I'll play all the pieces because it was an hour-long concert. But I'll play two pieces. I'm going to play a very famous Spanish folk tune called Romance, and then an original tune that I wrote for the city of Granada, which I think fell in love with. The organist here.
Muchas gracias, Brad. There are many great things that happen in people's lives, but 200 years does not come by every year, decade, every century. There are many things to celebrate, there are many things to be thankful for. We have done great things on Galiano, not little things, great, large things, and they're still being done. Maybe this is just the kind of people we are, who knows? This morning we celebrated the opening of the mountain trail, which we dedicated to Captain Galiano. There in perpetuity is and always will be our mountain. Now we will celebrate another man. We will celebrate the man Bodega. This afternoon we will be picking the lucky person from the Schoenfeld Bodega knife raffle. Matthew's knives are known all across Canada. This beautiful set of knives, we're so lucky to have it raffled right here. $1,710 was made through this one raffle alone. Thank you, Matthew. Andrew will come and tell us briefly who the man Bodega was.
Better than just telling you who Bodega was, I'll even show you a picture of him. I must have left it up at the luncheon. Anyhow, Bodega himself was a Peruvian, a Creole. He was born in Lima, Peru, and although he was of Spanish descent, which qualified him to enter naval school, yet being born in Lima sort of placed him on a lower status. Be that as it may, he went and studied in Spain with the Naval Academy, and then because he was so promising, he was sent from naval school to Mexico, where he was placed on the west coast and put in command of the various expeditions being mounted up onto the far northwest coast. Some of these he led himself, and he established the base and the fort at Nootka, which was to become a great Spanish center for the next 20 years or so. And then after that, he remained down in Mexico on the west coast at San Blas or at Acapulco, overseeing the efforts that were made on the northwest coast, and finally he died there in about 1817. His full name was Juan de la Bodega y Cuadra, so it happens that our Bodega Ridge is named after him. So Quadra Hill, which is also on Galiano, not many people know of it, and there's Quadra Island up the coast. Vancouver Island itself was originally called Vancouver and Quadras Island at one time. So this shows you that its influence was considerable. The point about Bodega Ridge is that it is one of the highest points on North Galiano. It's the highest point on North Galiano, and it rears up so suddenly that it forms one of the great beauty spots of British Columbia, as well as having so much mature forest on it as to be a point of beauty in its own right. This is why people have been trying so hard now to preserve Bodega Ridge, just the same way as we did Mount Galiano back in the spring of last year. So just as this morning we dedicated a trail up Mount Galiano to Dionisio Alcala Galiano and dedicated a sculpture to mark the beginning of the trail. Well, in a more general way, we'd like to summon people to think of Bodega Ridge by thinking of Juan de la Bodega y Cuadra too, and just how much interest there is too. I should point out at this juncture, just to change the subject slightly, that bodega is Spanish for winery, and those of you who haven't discovered the fact already, I brought back some strong wine from Captain Galiano's hometown, and those who want to try a sip of it is over there, I believe, ready for anybody to take a sip, and maybe later on when everybody's got a little bit, we can try a few toasts. In any case, we've tried all sorts of measures to think of raising money to preserve the bridge, and it will be a long and hard haul, but we should be used to that by now, because what else do we ever have? The next event on the agenda here today is a raffle. We've been selling raffle tickets for a beautiful custom knife made by Matthew Schoenfeld, who's been famous for these things for years and years and years and years. And every time you see the rock face of Bodega Ridge, you see how sharp it is and how precise. Well, you can think of one of Matt Schoenfeld's knives and think of the ridge and so forth, because he's donated this one to try and help raise money for the ridge in the raffle and everything like that. So, without any further ado, do you want me to choose the ticket? Or?
I'm asking you to choose.
Sure.
What I have here is a Schoenfeld salad. I would like you to choose a leaf. Now, I hope there's no relatives in there, Matthew. Stir around, grab one, good. That's the lucky one.
Vincent Chauncey from Calgary.
Lucky man.
Pick another one, I'll never know.
Thank you all who made this possible today. Thank you to the Allens for being such gracious hosts, and thank you to the Baylesses for being such gracious hosts, and thank you to all those who made this possible. Thank you to all the pie makers in there, and all you for coming. Right now, what we are going to finish doing, I believe, is planting daffodils. We have planted, what's the last count, Keith?
200, I think.
We planted 200, and we have, to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Captain Galiano coming, and we planted an extra, we are going to plant right now an extra 32, because Galiano was 32 years old when he came here 200 years ago. So if you'd like to come help us throw some dirt on these daffodils, we'd appreciate it. Andrew?
So while everybody's still got a drop or two, I'd like to propose a toast to Captain Dionisio Alcala Galiano on his 200th birthday.
Welcome, Captain. Bravo, Captain.
And to Debbie Holmes. And one more toast to Bodega y Cuadra, whose picture I wrote down. Bodega y Cuadra.
Cheers.
we'll be showing the video now, and the next few. This is the video, piece of Galiano, and it will be playing up on stage for anybody who wishes to see it.
Okay, good idea.
Dionisio Alcala Galiano. Haciendo
Over there and your wheels come down. It's like, okay. Oh, that's fine. This was made 70 years ago. Gasoline 70 years ago.